What's up? What's up? All right, let me get the purple glare off of the screen so you don't get too distracted by the purple tint of my shades. What up, William Zoom? I tried everything you said, and everything to my eyes. I have no blocked or banned customer or listeners, so I'm not sure quite what happened, but yes, movie star fingernails, yo 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 yo. Um, I'll have to look for that. I did not see anything that said moderator list. Maybe there's a. I've never made anyone else a moderator, so I don't. Where would I find that? What you know? I mean, I looked on all three different devices, so I said, maybe it's not picking it up on my iPad, and I went on my phone, nothing. iMac, nothing. So maybe there's a secret moderator, but I think I would have. I think I would have figured that out. Okay, I'll look on YouTube Studio. I was distracted by that one troll today. I mean, I honestly would have taken his advice if he would have had like all these amazing videos up and they sounded great. I mean, I realize there was a buzzing sound to that video, but I like the joke. And, but then I noticed the last thing he said tonight was something about my shitty stage presence. So I don't know what. Oh, Dirty Deaf. You can do better than that. I mean, my mom's been dead for 24 years, so I do a little research, for your trolling. I mean, the late night streams definitely seem to bring out the trolls. All right, so I'm going to go on YouTube Studio on my iMac. All right, here we go with Community. And see what is going on. Now, I probably should have done this before I came on here. Let me see. Comments. Held. Nothing there. I'm on community. Settings. Community moderation. Let's see what that says. Yeah, no, same three. Approved. All right, let's go to blocked words. No blocked words. All right, hidden users. Okay. Spa. Well, spa is hidden, so we'll undo that. AC/DC. Interesting. He is listed. So let me X that. And I think we solved the problem. Hidden users. I think we solved it. So let's see if AC/DC comes back. Hopefully he does. Yeah, I haven't had bologna in quite a minute. So message held for review. That's always a scary. Okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I noticed the trolls. You guys almost always troll in the same a book or something, it's either gay or pedophile stuff. So I'm not sure what going into someone's live stream and saying that um, means, but I don't know what this, you guys really, my mind is blown with some of you. Uh, you know, but I was really like, and I used to tell Chandler this all the time because she got trolled a lot on TikTok. You're fat, you're ugly, and like despite how I feel about her due to several things, she's a beautiful girl. She's anything but fat or ugly. Um, and with today, I thought, no, I had a lot more banned people, or it didn't really say blocked; it said hidden. So, I had like maybe 15 others. But, with the guy today from my video, the sound quality sucks, the joke sucks. I thought, well, let me see if this guy's some kind of an audiophile on YouTube and he has like hundreds of videos that sound good. I would DM him and go, hey, how do I make it sound better? I actually love getting feedback from people. Oh, okay. Well, let me do that. I will, I gotta find, all right, community. Um, let's see. I forgot, okay, hold on. Here we go. Settings, permissions. Gotta, really, community moderation. Yes, Wiki, yeah. So everyone gets a fresh start here. Now there's some, but then the last thing there's no more hidden users. Said was your stage presence sucks, and it's like, oh, you were trolling me all along. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe button, please. No, I don't ban really anybody. Even the guy who was trolling me today, I was like, hey, um, you know, let me see something you've put out that sounds amazing. And then I go, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. It was probably my mistake. I should have just let the one comment pass. But then I think, like you told me, William, um, well, if I can engage this guy in a back and forth, that just gets the algorithm going. But it wasn't worth it, you know. Um, well, listen, I don't mind people complaining about the quality of the video or sound issues, but you better have uh, some videos of your own that I can critique. And he had, I think, one subscriber, no content. So that's why I did the Patrick Mahomes comparison. I literally was like, I don't think I should be able to say Patrick Mahomes played a bad game yesterday. I've never played in the NFL, college, or very little high school football. So I don't think I'm qualified to sit there and say Patrick Mahomes had a bad game. So I don't think this guy's, I mean, listen, the sound's not great, but, the joke got a laugh. But, it's just, I was in a moment of weakness. I mean, Wayne, I'm not for everyone, as today's interactions with a particular listener have showed. But, like I told him, comedy's subjective. And, I can't force anyone to say Earl's funny. If you don't think I'm funny, then I'm not funny to you. But I'm funny to a lot of people. And I used to be like, when I used to perform, I could be in a room full of 100 people, and 99 of them could be laughing. And if there was one person with his arms crossed not liking it, I would consider that set a failure. But now I know that, out of every 100 people, probably 10 won't think you're funny. Like on Saturday night at the Comedy Store, I'm not going to say I was killing, but I was doing very well. But there was a young girl and her mom in the front row, and you could tell like they were Taylor Swift fans. I mean, because the girl actually, for a second, I thought it was Taylor Swift, which makes sense. She probably would sit in the front row. And the girl gave me nothing. She just didn't dig me. Now, does it hurt my feelings that the girl didn't like me? I mean, the mom kind of chuckled. The girl just sat there going, okay, I got to stay here because my mom's enjoying this. But, there's nothing I can do. I've been on Kill Tony, I think like 5 times. The first 2 times, if you're a fan of the OG Kill Tony, there was a character by the name of the Iron Patriot. He was like the sidekick. He didn't really add a lot to the show. He was just some idiot that dressed up in a costume for Tony to make fun of, basically. So when he quit or got fired from the show, Tony and Red Band, hey, would you dress up as the Iron Patriot? It'd be funnier because we know you. And so I did the Iron Patriot, I think, twice. One of the episodes was with Ari Shafir. And Ari got me one of the most genuine laughs I've ever had when he was like, hey, Earl, you're dressed as a superhero. What power would you want? I said, white power. Hello. What up? What up? And then after that, I think I did the panel like 3 times. Once was with Mike Lawrence. Another was with Kirk Fox. Another was with Michael Costa. And the last time I was ever on Kill Tony was with Sam Roberts and Jim Norton in the main room. And that's when Allie McCoskey was on stage talking about 2 comics who took her to Tijuana. And I was like, oh, you mean D'Elia and Callan? And Tony kicked me under the table. I was like, well, there goes those 2 guests. And look how right I was. So I don't know if I'm. I mean, I don't think I would do Kill Tony again anyway. It's just not my thing. Kirk Fox, he's always acting. Like he was in that Amazon show my ex Whitney was in, Jury Duty. He's a guy who you might not see in, mainstream things, but he's always acting. He's writing a lot. So, Wayne, you're so, yeah, I mean, Joe. Well, Joe's good friends with Brian Callen. So, and to be honest with you, Joe wasn't, or Brian wasn't charged with anything. So, same thing with D'Elia. He wasn't ever charged with anything. So a guy from Youngstown can't be trusted, 100%. I mean, I get along with Red Band. I think me and Tony are cool. I mean, we're not like best friends. I mean, we never really were, but we. That's one of the things I don't like about stand up is you get in different circuits and then you kind of drift apart. Me and Tony were always good comedy friends, but I mean, he's cordial with me when I see him, but I'm not really an Austin guy, to be honest with you. So like I don't see myself ever really going back there again. I would love to do The Price is Right. You mean as the host? 100%. I mean, that's a fat paying gig. And you get over the 100 episode mark, that's when the fat residuals come in. So I could use a gig like that. If I was the host of The Price is Right, I could play anywhere I want. Any theater in America, Canada, and probably even the UK I could do. But as a model, yeah, 100%. I could rock a bikini for a 56-year-old. But yeah, that's a nice gig Drew Carey has. I mean, I'm OG Bob Barker. Price is Right when they had what was the guy's name? Come on down, Johnny, Hot Tub Johnny or something. And when Bob Barker was like sexually harassing all the spokesmodels, I mean that's OG era for me. Um, Yes, I did have a beard on Kill Tony. The last time, and I came out. I don't know why. I think that episode was around Halloween, so I came out as Sting in like a leather duster, Sting shirt, and a baseball bat. Um, so I mean, Kill Tony is the Gong Show. I've said that often, and it's not even really an insult. It's just Kill Tony to me. I mean, I don't watch it a lot. I mean, I haven't watched it in years. But it's better when it's bad. Which I don't know if that's yeah, Diane Parkinson, I think, sued. But I think she fucked him too. So that's kind of a weird, like, I think it was probably a relationship. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, they kind of porked a few times, and then that's always a dicey situation when you sue someone for sexual harassment, and then, well, you fucked them a few times. Uh, yeah, Wheezy, I haven't watched Price is Right in, my God, a long time. I had no idea they had male spokesmodels on. So, and that stuff doesn't. Game shows don't. I mean, I grew up on game shows. Um, well, I would hardly say I'm famous. If I was famous, I'd have more than 11 people in my stream. But it is pretty late. 11 o'clock on the dot. No, I mean, when I came on the Sunset Strip, I'm trying to think of bands that were local but popular. I mean, obviously, Rat, Poison, Motley Crue, they were at superstar levels, but there were a lot of Sunset Strip bands that kind of were huge, and then they just didn't get the pop. Yeah, Price is Right. I mean, Peter Tomarken, Tic Tac Toe, Joker, Joker, No Joker. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Um, but Shark Island was a huge band on the Sunset Strip, uh, especially when they were just called the Sharks. And then, they had, I think, one major label release. I don't know, it was either 89 or 90, Law and Order video on MTV, Bad for Each Other, but it was just a little too late to the party for them. Which, if you believe urban legend, Axl Rose stole a lot of his stage persona from Richard Black, the singer. So about 2 years ago, Shark Island is playing at the Whiskey, and I said, I want to go. I only really like that song, Bad for Each Other. I want to see if Richard Black reminds me of Axl Rose in any shape, way, or form, and he does, man. I mean, I could see Axl, like, kind of, like a comic stealing a joke. Axl definitely borrowed from this guy's stage presence, but welcome to Hollywood. I was on a drama about a sitcom called I'm Dying Up Here, um, which was on Showtime. It was basically about the 70s comedy store. I'm trying to think of other bands that never really popped on the Sunset Strip. I mean, Tough, Tuff. They were like Poison, Diet Poison. They were on MTV a fair amount, but they were big in LA. They'd sell out any show on the Strip. Um, so I think my favorite, I forget the name of it was with Ron Ely, Ely. He was the host. I forget what it was, but I remember that game show. I mean, anything with Bert Convy, Nipsey Russell, I watched. Um, Joker's Wild. Wink Martindale, who was also in a Quiet Riot uh, video, The Wild and the Young. No rock and roll. No rock and roll. Um, uh, well, I mean, there is a video of Shark Island in Hollywood uh, Rose at what is now some black nightclub, basically, but Gazzari's, and you could see Richard Black and Axl together. It's like, oh, these guys are like almost twins. Yeah, Tough still make, yeah, Card Sharks. I did like Card Sharks. Yeah, I mean, Match Game anything with Charles Nelson Riley and Paul Lynde. Yeah, Tough still tours. I don't think it's the original band anymore, but I did the merch at their last show at the Whiskey. Um, Stevie Rochelle, who was the singer of Tough, I think he took over for Jim Gillette of Nitro. That's another band that I can't say they should have been bigger, but they had Jim Gillette, who his shtick was his voice was so high pitched that he could crack a champagne glass. Um, I hate the way that show ended earlier. They left everyone hanging. That sucked. It was a good show. What are you talking about, Felix? What show? I'm not sure what you are talking about. Did you know Charles Nelson Riley was Burt Reynolds? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think I did remember seeing Charles Nelson Riley on that Burt Reynolds game show in the 90s where Don DeLuise was always on. Of course, I saw Charles Nelson Riley a fair amount toward the end of his life at the Pavilions, which is a supermarket out here in West Hollywood. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there were so many bands back then um, in terms of the Sunset Strip, and just everyone trying to be the next Poison, the next Rat, the next Motley Crue, the next Cinderella, the next Skid Row, the next Guns N' Roses. Um, Yes, I was on I'm Dying Up Here. I think I was in like 12 of the 20 episodes. Not a huge part, a recurring character. I was in the background of a lot of scenes. Typically, they would have me doing stand up. So, I got some stand up in there. What up, Biggie? Um, and I'm Dying Up Here just didn't grab the ratings. I still don't know why. I mean, we had a good lead in. The first season, I think, was Twin Peaks. That was a very popular show. And then our second season, and I don't think anyone thought there'd be a second season. But I think because of the Jim Carrey Association showtimes, that we'll give it one more shot. And we came on after Ray Donovan, which was yes, it was TV. Um, and, I thought the second season was a lot better because it was darker. They brought in my buddy Brendan Lynch, who is a very funny stand-up, very funny writer, and he's just a dark comic, like Jeselnik style. That same kind of vibe. But I'll always wonder why the show just I don't know. I mean, if you look at the cast, I mean, not too many dramas have that kind of a cast. Melissa Leo won an Oscar, so she's legit. You had Brad Garrett, who I thought season 2 should have won an Emmy. I mean, he was fucking great on that show. And I had a scene with him that was pretty cool. And then, Jake Lacey, he's one of the most in-demand working young actors. He was on season 1 of White Lotus. And then, all the comics on that show, they all work. I mean, Santino works, Eric Griffin works, Al Madrigal works, I work. Not that should be included with that group, but, and then the guest stars, Alfred Molina from, Boogie Nights. Rick Overton played the Booker of the Tonight Show. Like, he's a legendary LA comic and improviser. So yeah, 100%. But I think Melissa, I kind of, I mean, she was nice to me most of the time, but she's definitely hard to work with. I mean, because she's a method actress. Like, she was the only one in the table reads. Now I'm having to do like 1 or 2 lines in a table read, so I would just sit there because a table read takes about an hour and a half because you read through the whole script. And watching her in a table read was like an acting class because she had already had the script memorized. So she would look at you like, I mean, it was impressive. Here I am, shaking because the head of Showtime was next to me. I was at the end of the table. The table goes in like a U shape. So it starts here, and then goes all the way, and then like the people who don't have like the most amount of lines are at the the end of the U, and the head of Showtime was always sitting next to me. So it was pretty scary to have this guy, like, you know, I mean, when I say the head of Showtime, I mean, there was no one above this guy other than a ceiling. So that's probably one of my career highlights is the premiere of season 1 was held at the Writers Guild, which is a big deal to have your premiere there. It's invite only, so it's A-list premiere. I mean, everyone's there. And the head of Showtime gets on the stage and he thanks all the actors in the film. And sorry, boys and girls, the stream, my phone died, so I'm at like 1%. So I'm going to end the stream for now, but I see AC/DC is back. Well, actually, let me see if I can hold on here. Hold on 1 second. It's a kitchen stream. Yes, it's the first ever kitchen stream. The phone died. I didn't realize I was at 0%. Let me see if this. Let me see if this is better. Let me put my wallet under the charger. See, I care about the fans. There we go. The first ever kitchen stream. Sorry about that. I do what I can. Now, the phone has such a little percentage that it may, yeah, 100%. Well, the weird thing is, all of the other videos from the Comedy Store sounded really good. So I didn't notice the buzzing myself, but I'm in such a, like you said, quantity, not quality mode on YouTube, because I do know that YouTube does not reward quality videos. It's quantity. Get them out. Get them out. So, I mean, there was, you know, it wasn't audibly the greatest sounding video. But I don't think the guy's problem really was with that. He just wanted to troll, because then the last thing he said was something along the lines of your stage presence sucks. So it's like, oh, okay, you're just trolling, bro. Which is fine. It's, you know, listen, it's the internet. I get it. But for some reason, I think what set me off wasn't, you know, I just like, you know, like I said, let me see what this guy's channel looks like. And typical of most trolls, not all, but most, 1 subscriber, 0 content. And I just feel in my heart that you shouldn't really shit on someone's content when you don't have any content your own. I don't think that was an ex of mine. I know how my ex is right, specifically probably the one you're talking about. Listen, as much as I am not feeling the vibe of that ex, she's a lot more clever than that guy. Let's see what I have in these drawers here. Hey, look at this. Let me see. Show. Let me see. There's a couple of my dog's collars. I always keep my dog's collars when they go to heaven. I know, it's a little macabre, but what are you going to do? What is this? Nothing too interesting. Let Let me put these on. Let me see if I can read any questions with these on. Hey, man. Is that AC/DC I see? Oh, I thought that was a... You're watching a... I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Let's see. Let me see what other... I got some pictures in here. You know, I like to show you guys... Here's me and Gail's mom in happier times. Happier times. This must be the pictures. I don't know why I have all these pictures of exes here, but I never really throw anything out. So let's see what's in this drawer. Nothing too interesting. Yeah, just a bunch of Annie's old dog leashes. And here's Annie's leash. Annie was a big dog. Look at the size of that neck. Yeah, 100%. Vince Neil out of control. Elliptical is still there, 100%. I've just got to find... I really enjoyed the last guy I had who moved, I think, the old couch out. And I want to give him business, but I can't find his number anywhere. Yeah, I saw that. Was he on the plane? Were any drummers on the other plane? Or his plane? One person dead, so it's kind of serious. It's no joke. Let's see what's down here. I don't know if Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in here. I'm never on this. What the hell is this down here? Okay. Oh. Here's Annie's dishes. Oh, Vince wasn't on the plane? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, he's just a jinxed guy, man. But you know he'll get sued for that shit. Kip Smith, what up? I mean, well, I loved Annie a lot. So one day, if I ever have a bigger dog, like a German Shepherd, that will be their food bowls. I mean, God knows what else. What's on this side? I've never really... on this... I never go in these drawers down here, so... yeah, I mean, I'm not a pack rat, but sentimental stuff, I don't. Yes, hey, Kip, and maybe we can forward this to Gina Babina. I unbanned everyone. Everyone gets a fresh start because AC/DC somehow ended up in the hidden. I found a section that said hidden users. I don't know if that's the same thing as banned. And AC/DC was oddly in that group. So I just unhid everyone. So hopefully, I don't know if there was a glitch in the system. I certainly didn't do it. I know Gina did with spas. But he's back, and you know, so we're a fresh start, and I'm not sure who would ban AC/DC, but you know, I don't think he ever said anything to get banned. But YouTube is weird. Yeah, I mean, I really don't. I mean, other than the one guy who kept doing the N-word towers, I'm pretty liberal with what I let get away with. Even with the troll today, I was engaging with him, trying to get him to like see that, bro, you look ridiculous trolling my videos for being not the best technically, at least this one video, and you have no content yourself. I'm curious about the brain thought there. So, oh, it's all good. I mean, I don't even think ACDC would say anything that would be held for review, but I guess maybe Gina did it by accident or something. All good. He's always been a good fan. And he sent me something to the Comedy Store that I think got stolen. So, um, there you go. I can't imagine who would steal a bowling shirt from Earl, but anything's possible at the Comedy Store with some of the fucking riffraff they have up there. Yeah, I don't know. And there's no hidden words. There was no like. Um, it was very strange. So um, yeah, I'm not sure. So hopefully ACDC is listening and back. I think he's in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. So okay, I'll go back there. I don't know. I can't figure out YouTube sometimes. Although I have been noticing lately, some new people to the stream have said, "Who are you? The algorithm got me here." So maybe what I'm doing is starting to work out. Um, I don't know. So I'm still I'm not new to YouTube, but I'm just I've watched a lot of videos recently and read articles about the algorithm, and some people say they push shorts more than they do because they're trying to compete with Instagram Reels and TikTok. And other people, I saw one article that said they pushed the 2 to 3 minute video for some reason. So I've been trying to do that. TB. Canada versus Sweden. I mean, Sweden's got a good team, man. Of course, that's the only. The Kings aren't very well represented in the Four Nations tournament. Adrian Kempe of Sweden is playing, and Drew Doughty is like the seventh defenseman on Team Canada. I mean, I'm not feeling this tournament. How can you have a legit nations tournament and you don't have Russia involved? I mean, forget the politics and shit. Like and this is typical of the NHL. Russia's not in the tournament, but the number one storyline in the NHL right now is Ovechkin's chase of Gretzky's goal scoring record. So, um, it'd be a good storyline to have Ovechkin, in the news. I mean, Canada, Sweden has a good team. I mean, that's the thing. Any of these four teams could win under optimal situations. I mean, the U.S. is a great team. Canada could probably put two teams into this. So I think you always have to favor Canada going into a tournament. But we just beat Canada for the World Junior title. The U.S. did. So, well, I understand about the politics, but it's just a shame to me that sports to me is universal. And I don't think really from the few NHL players I know. Of course, you always want to win for your country, but um, it's not like this is the Olympics or the world. In '96 when they did the World Championships and U.S. upset Canada, that was blood sport. Watch on YouTube. It's a video of the first game between the U.S. and Canada. It's a fucking jungle, man. You had Bill Guerin fighting Scott Stevens. They were teammates in Jersey. It was just like that kind of a teammates fighting, enemies like Claude Lemieux and Gretzky joining forces. Um, so yeah, I just it's a shame to see Ovechkin not playing and Vasilevsky, the goalie from Tampa, not playing. And all the other great Russian players. The kid in Minnesota, Kiprasov. Um, but politics is politics, I suppose, and we'll see what happens. Well, I like the Team US goaltending. You got Hellebuck, Ottinger, and Swayman. I mean, Hellebuck's the real deal. He's probably the best goalie in the league right now. Um, so I don't. I wish they would do this tournament. I don't know. I just like for the Kings case. I really hope Adrian Kempe doesn't get hurt because he's their leading goal scorer. He's really outside of Fiala, the only one who's scoring goals consistently. And if he were to get hurt in this fucking tournament, that really doesn't mean anything. The Kings are effed. Yeah, Carey Price, a great goalie in his prime. A shame he never won a cup. But some of his Canadian teams were not very good. Yeah, I mean, Quick is, he was left for dead in LA. I mean, he didn't look good. He looked like he was slowing down, but he's definitely been rejuvenated in New York. I think Shesterkin is hurt, so he's going to play a little bit more than he probably normally would. But he's the real deal, Quick, still at his age. Um, I mean, I'm not going to say he's just as fast and limber as he used to be, but he's a workout freak, and I don't mean weights. I mean he's into stretching and all these weird exercises, and it definitely shows. I mean, I think he's 37 or something, and he's pretty dynamic still. So it's good to see. I mean, the Kings are pretty set in goal with Darcy Kemper, so I can't say. I did think the Kings did him dirty when they traded him. They basically told him over the phone. And this guy won you two fucking Stanley Cups, man. Without him, the Kings don't win one cup. So I did think that there's no loyalty in sports, that's for sure. So hey, hit the like and subscribe button. Speaking of loyalty, we're at the 43-minute mark. Probably do another few minutes, and then I gotta walk the baby. She's very tired right now. She's sleeping right now. Uh, so I know he's. What was he in the 2003 draft class? I mean, he'd been a while. Um, the yoga teacher did bust my butt, but I got my first headstand today, which I've been taking yoga for 7 years. But I was against the wall. But I leaned up against the wall, and for a couple seconds, I was freestanding. So that was a big deal for me. Yeah, I mean, well, Dowdy's going to be like the seventh defenseman. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to go with the 12-6 configuration, 12 forwards, 60. Like sometimes the Kings do 11 forwards, 70, but I don't think they're going to do that in a tournament. So I don't even know if Dowdy's going to play unless someone gets hurt. But maybe he will. I mean, he's definitely struggled. Since he came back, but he is coming off of a broken ankle. Yeah, I mean, this guy today, he's like a yogi guru. Like he teaches the teachers, so he's very, very good. And he just does these insane poses. Um, and like he was telling me, his yoga, the guy who taught him, can do a headstand for 10 minutes and not move an inch. That's crazy to me. Um, but you know, in yoga there is no bad. No one's bad at yoga. You just do your thing, and if you can't do it that day, you just can't do it. But my problem is I'm raised from a stand-up comedy background where that is probably the most compared um, situation anyone could ever be in, especially at the Comedy Store. The minute I drive up, it's like, hey, Earl has a nice car. Whose car is nicer? Or is his car the nicest? I get out. Hey, why is Earl wearing custom made leather pants and a custom fit Barbados suit? Who's Earl talking to? And this is all before I even get into the fucking building. And then in the building, is Earl talking to the booker? Why is she talking to him and not me? And then I'm obviously compared to the other comics when I go on stage. Is Earl killing? Is he bombing? Is he doing okay? And then, after I get off stage, who's Earl talking to in the VIP bar? Why are they talking to him and not me? So that's what's been hard in yoga for me is sometimes I leave class feeling very unaccomplished. Um, but because I have that mindset of being compared to everyone around me. And I remember this yoga teacher I briefly dated, a couple weeks. When I say briefly dated, she's like, Earl, nobody gives a shit what you can or can't do. They're all in there for themselves. So they don't even see you falling out of a pose because they're too busy trying to concentrate not falling out of the pose for themselves. And that made me understand it a little bit. Um, I wish I had the money people thought I had. So, you know, yes. Well, I mean, yoga is about doing it for yourself, not really like if you're in a basic pose like tree pose, which is when you put, say, your right leg, you just put your foot on your left calf and it's a balance pose. It's a very basic pose. It's one of the few poses that I can do. And there are some days where I can't even do that because, I'm just, my equilibrium's off or whatever. Um, and so you could have 10 people in a row in the back row, and, 5 people are doing it perfectly. A couple people like me are kind of, struggling with the balance, but they're in it. And then other people are in what's called the rest position, child's pose, where you're basically on the ground, kneeling, like, like you're praying to Mecca. It's like that kind of pose. Um, and nobody cares. And that took me a while. 100%. But, I'm coming from a hockey background where, hey, Earl has the hard, in general, I had the hardest shot of any team I've ever played on. So I played in the offensive positions the most. Um, I was compared to the guy who had the second hardest shot, so on and so forth. Whereas yoga, it's like nobody cares if you got the hardest shot in here, Earl. If you've got the strongest legs and you can do a headstand, great. The guy who can't do a headstand, doesn't matter. You're in the same class. You're both in the class doing yoga. And AC/DC, back in the AC/DC, somehow you ended up on the hidden users list. I think it was a glitch in the system. It certainly was not me or William or Kip. Um, I don't know, or I don't think it would be Gina either, but I apologize, AC/DC. So it's good to have you back. Of Michael Ironside. We can always talk a little Michael Ironside in this stream. No, not at all. I think the same thing happened to Spas, but I believe Gina put him in timeout for something. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I YouTube sometimes acts up on me. Like I know some people say they don't get the notifications, while other people do. Everything in my settings is free. It's open. Like there's no banned words. There's no blocked I mean, there's no blocked users anymore. But I had about 15 blocked users. So yeah, Gina did ban Spaz. Um, I do think Top Gun is Michael Ironside's best role. Some may say Total Recall, but I'm a Top Gun guy. And his role in Top Gun really wasn't that big, but so powerful. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone held a message you sent and it somehow got on the hidden users sector. Uh, because I did not recognize anyone on the hidden user um, page other than you and Spas, and I would not have. I mean, we know Gina uh, banned Spaz, but no, this ain't. This we'll do 9 more minutes, guys. This ain't the Ray DeVito show, guys. We're not cooking. Um, so yeah, sorry about that, ACDC. So, thoughts on Trump's new proposal for state-enforced homosexuality, and how do you think it will affect you? I mean, he's going to force people to be gay. Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a while, but I just assume also people are busy, and but yeah, 100%. I mean, I have my neighbor. She's from Canada, and she is getting married, and she's always cooking a lot of food. And she brings over the food, and she's like, "Can you just warm up the meat?" I'm like, "No, you got to cook it for me," and she does. I don't know if I'm the king of the Dabbleverse. I mean, that's a dark world that I want really no part of. I mean, I was watching the Atlantic City stream, and I was just my mind was blown at some of those people. Like I think it's funny that Kevin's the king of the Riris, and I'm glad I'm not really. I mean, I guess I used to say I don't even think I'm Dabbleverse adjacent anymore. I mean, I did go on MLC recently, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because I am fascinated by it. Um, but yeah, I mean, Teamster Tim. I don't know who that guy is, but it's like you know. Well, I'll be on Tom Myers' podcast or stream tomorrow. Speaking of Tom Myers, I wish I could cook. It's definitely a skill set that I wish I had. I mean, I've watched enough Hell's Kitchen to think I could probably cook a steak. It's basically a couple minutes on each side. But I don't mind spending money and just paying for someone else to cook it. Um, So, and eggs are just a mystery to me. I see people make eggs. I'm like, I wouldn't know how to do that. Um, or baked potato, you just throw it in the oven for an hour. Um, so I don't mind. I'm lazy in that regard. Hit the like and subscribe button. We got about 6 more minutes. Um, no, I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know some of the newer characters of the Dabbleverse, Teamster Tim, and um, like I know Borgo is some rich guy who gives Kevin tons of money. Um, Apparently, he doesn't think I'm that funny, but like you know, what I don't beg for people to think I'm funny. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could probably save myself a lot of money by at least air frying. Any Don Rickles comedy specials to recommend? Just the one. Let's move this closer so I can relax a little bit. Um, yeah, Burt Perkins, but I think Borgo gave like Kevin like $500. So I think I saw an interview with him on MLC once. He's in the horse racing business or something. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Burt Perkins came in hot. I think my all-time super chatters were Burt Perkins, and then that one stream, Are You Ready to Rock, when he was drunk, and he dropped about $200. What did you think of Stevie Lou's Butler uniform? To be honest with you, I didn't really even notice it that much. Um, I mean, I've had some interactions with Stevie Lou. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, I don't know much about him. I thought he was a comic, but apparently he's just, kind of like a voyeur of the Dabbleverse, and he's gotten himself in there, and you know, I don't know. I mean, there's certainly some characters in the Dabbleverse. Not necessarily. There's a lot of unfunny, successful comics. Being funny is really not that important, to be frank. There's a lot of unfunny comics who have a good social media presence, which is, um, you know, that's the game. Yes, in case anyone is wondering, well, I think Tom's funny, but once again, I can't tell you to think Tom's funny if you don't think he's funny. We all have, our different um, barometers of what's funny. I mean, I think Joe's funny for his crowd. Like he definitely has cultivated a fan base that thinks everything he says is the word of God. Um, Well, I think there's only one Don Rickles special, Live from the Sands. There might be another one. I do recall getting a second Don Rickles special, but it was weird. It was more of a one man show. It wasn't really jokes, but my favorite special of all time is Don Rickles Live at the Sands, '68. Uh, so, well, no, I think Ron White is actually drunk a lot of times. I think, from what I've been led to believe, the Foster Brooks was kind of he was doing it shtick, like it was an act. He wasn't really drunk. I mean, Ron White, he goes hard in the paint. Like he was drinking whiskey one time at the dog park, handing out weed to all the comics. I did not watch the commercials that much in the Super Bowl. When the commercials came on, I would switch over to the Rangers Blue Jackets game. I don't know about that, William. I've seen him pretty hammered at the Comedy Store. Um, People tell me Dean was a put on, but he had that alcohol face, like bloated, and I absolutely think Dean Martin was drinking. So, oh, I mean, maybe. I mean, I haven't really seen him in a few years. I mean, he used to come on upstairs at the tail end of Roast Battle, in the prime tail end of Roast Battle, and he was a judge. He was really funny. I remember he would always bring his, I guess he has his own whiskey or something. He'd pass it out. Um, but I have heard that Dean Martin didn't really drink, and I never really bought into that because he just had the look of a drunk. Um, but um, I mean, maybe Ron White's sober now. He does look healthier, but he drinks hard, or he drank, I should say, hard liquor, so that really ages you. Beer just bloats you, but when you're drinking like rum and whiskey, Doug McClure's daughter, the actor Doug McClure, I remember him. Wasn't he in the? I think he was in 52 Pickup as the congressman running. Um, um, I don't know about that, Kip. Um, well, he looks pretty good, Angus Young. He doesn't look like a drunk. I mean, his teeth are fucked up, but like, people in the UK and Australia don't have the greatest. No, I didn't know, but Doug McClure, if I'm not mistaken, was the congressman in 52 Pickup. But I've never met her, to my knowledge. Um, well, I mean, they say David Lee Roth shtick, when he would have the whiskey on stage, it was apple juice. Um, because I think Doug McClure was kind of one of those actor. Doug McClure back in his day was trying, kind of doing like what Robert Davi is doing now. He's like acting, singing Sinatra tunes. Um, I mean, it's a tough business to make it, and that is for sure. Um, I mean, you think with her dad's pedigree, she could have probably cut through a lot of red tape, but apparently not. So, before we end the stream, I want to apologize for the phone dying. Frankie Valli is still tuning in. I mean, Rich Little in general is thought of as the greatest impressionist of all time. Yeah, I mean, Doug McClure was a guy who never really popped, but he was always, he was friends with all those guys. They would always throw him bones. No, we don't do a tour of Earl's fridge. I mean, show some decorum, will you, Dominic? I mean, what do you see? You want to see my toilet next? I mean, come on, brother. Frankie Valli doesn't look good, but he's also really fucking old. I mean, he's in his mid 80s. It's like Weekend at Frankie's. Um, so, Frankie Valli. I mean, he's had a great run. I mean, when you're a singer from the 50s and it's 2024 and you're still kicking it, like, you had a good run. Um, so, I mean, when you got to figure he's never been a gym guy, or so, you look at, like Jack LaLanne was, ripped in his 80s, but, Frankie Valli's probably been drinking and smoking half of his life. So he's an old 80. Um, You're right on that, Dominic. You're right on that. I'm afraid if I take my phone off the charger, it'll go blank again. I don't want to, I'm trying to be professional here, Dominic. Let's see what I can show you here. There's Seattle Slow. There's my mom at her wedding. There's a front look of the Pierre-Luc Dubois helmet. And here's a pile of protein bars. And of course the Rowdy. I had to put the Rowdy Roddy Piper soda pop up here because Lois was starting to climb up on the computer desk and get around the area where the glass bottle Roddy gave me was. So yoga was hard, Ryan, but I got through it. And it's I'm paying the sins at 56 of being 35 years of hockey and golf. I mean, you couldn't pick two worse sports for your spine than hockey and golf. And heavy weight lifting in my 20s and 30s with absolutely no warm up or stretching. I definitely am paying the price now. But gas or electric? Gas. It is gas. I did my first assisted headstand, assisted by the wall. So 7 years into yoga, basically almost 8. I probably should have been doing headstands a little earlier but hey, fuck it. I got there for a few seconds. I was doing a headstand on my own. Well, I wouldn't say I'm rich. I really wish I had the money you guys thought I did. Yeah, I mean, well, I was certainly never lifting weights on the Ronnie Coleman's level, but I would put up some pretty impressive weight for someone who's never done steroids or anything. And, I just didn't properly warm up and, my body's paying the price. I mean, I'm in great shape internally. Last time I got a checkup, the doctor's like, your heart and lungs are like that of a 20-year-old's. But, I definitely recover a lot less faster than I used to. Oh yeah, Ace. Well, Ace is just a drunk. I mean, can you imagine what his insides look like? I mean, he's probably been drinking. What is he in his 70s now? 72 or something. You got to figure Ace Frehley's been drinking since 15 years old. So that's what, 55 years or something like that. 57 years he's been drinking and doing drugs. Tim Rose. Well, that's a bit of a touchy question. Am I famous? Well, Tim, it depends on what you think famous is. I've been on TV more than most people. I'm a paid regular at the number one club in the country. I mean, do I get mobbed when I walk into airports? Not really. But I do get recognized, mostly from Roast Battle. But I'm known, I'm not famous. And I haven't been on TV in a couple minutes, so I don't, famous is relative to what you mean. I mean, to me, Tom Cruise is famous. But, I once, a couple years ago, had a young comic go, Earl, you're my role model. You've made it. Now, to this particular comic, I had made it. been on TV a few times, paid regular at the Comedy Store, yada yada. To me, Jim Carrey's made it. I'm sure to Jim Carrey, Albert Brooks has made it. I'm sure to Albert Brooks, George Carlin. Like there's always someone you admire to be and wish you were. So I hope that answers your question, Tim. Hit the like and subscribe button, please. I have no musical talent, to be honest with you. Yeah, Bret Michaels, I mean, diabetes can really fuck up your body, but I think he's on it. And he's pretty lean for a dude in he's got to be a little older than me, so maybe 58 ish. Um, I mean, Mick, no problem. Mick Jagger, I mean, for a guy who's done the drugs and drink that he's done, it's pretty impressive. He still looks pretty good. I mean, facially, he's a little on the age side, but I don't picture Mick Jagger getting facials and moisturizing. And Keith Richards, he don't give a fuck. Um, so I don't cut. So, but I go wood. Um, yeah, Vince Neil's plane got into a plane crash with a parked jet in, I believe, Scottsdale, Arizona. 3 people injured, 1 dead. So, there's a lawsuit coming. I don't know if Vince was on the plane. I haven't heard that he was on the plane, but we'll go another 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. Okay. Was not on it one, yeah. Oh, maybe I should do the stream from the kitchen. Earl, live from the kitchen. Put the Earl sign up there. Yeah, so at 61, I mean, I don't think he's ever been a drinker. I mean, I'm sure he's done some cocaine every now and then, but you're lying. Every rock music fan has some. I really don't. No, I'm telling you, I don't. And I'm not coordinated enough for drums. Like my friend tried to teach me the drums, and my friend is Slash's drummer. He's a musical savant. And he was just trying to teach me basic rhythm patterns. I was lost. Guitar, same thing. He tried to teach me guitar because he can play anything. And I just, the problem for me musically is like a guitar sound. Like my brain understands it, but by the time my thought process gets to my fingers, I'm lost. So I don't. I'm honest. Now, can I sing? Yeah, if it's a low register song, I have a very deep and baritone voice. Let's see what it's like when the lights are off. So, all right, guys. We did a nice, friendly stream in here. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Or my favorite guitar player, I don't really have one in particular, but if I could name a few of them in no order, I would say Steve Stevens, Jakey Lee, Warren DeMartini, Robin Crosby from Rat. I like Neil Schon from Journey. Of course, give me a little bit of Vinnie Vincent, Ace Frehley. Yeah, sorry, AC/DC. Good to have you back as well. And every guitar player probably loves Van Halen and Hendrix. So those are my guys. I mean, I like Rivers Cuomo from Weezer. I don't know if he's, I know they have the other guy as the main guitar player, but, I do. Yeah, Glenn Campbell was a great guitar player. A lot of those country guys are great guitar players. Message held for review. Uh-oh. I'm telling you right now, I've known you. If you handed me a Vinnie Vincent Flying V Jackson or a Robin Crosby white Jackson with the reverse head and said, play a tune, I couldn't. Yeah, Jerry Reed. I mean, I could sing Rhinestone Cowboy because that's in my vocal register. I've been walking these streets so long, I'm singing the same old song. I know every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get walked away like the snow and the rain. I could sing shit like that. Well, I'm a rock and roller at heart. I love me some leather. I'm a leather daddy. I mean, Alex Lifeson's obviously great. I mean, there's so many great guitar players. There's really no wrong answer. Um, I'm trying to, Tom Schatz from Boston. I like. Um, I mean, obviously Randy Rhoads, uh, Brad Gillis from Night Ranger. I enjoy him. Ryan Roxy from Alice Cooper. So, that's about it, guys. Well, guys, this stream actually worked out. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Elliot Easton from the Cars is another one. Yeah, I mean, Van Halen. You can't go wrong with Van Halen. I mean, Slash, I like. Um, I don't necessarily have a. I mean, I love Jake E. Lee. Like, he's probably, if you put a gun to my head and said you have to name one guitar player, I would say Jake E. Lee. George Lynch is another guitar player that I enjoy. So Peter Steele. I could also hit the Playgirl notes. Hello. Yes, I love me, TB, some missing persons. It's funny when I was hanging out with someone whose name shall remain nameless. I met the what's the drummer? He's got a very similar name to that last name, Vinny Codoletta. Vinny. And it was like even I knew who he was. So I mean, I would say my two. No, Vinny Cole. It's like like I think he played with Zappa. Um, no, I mean I'm Rain Man though with names. So that's the beauty of me. And I love yes, um, Vinny. Yeah, I don't even know how to say his last name, but I met him once when I was actually helping a friend move, and they had played in a band or a studio session or something together, and because we were moving their musical equipment into his storage facility with all his music equipment, and he was there, and I'm like, oh fuck, man. But I'm a big Missing Persons fan. Great band. Uh, oh, I'll have to follow him. I haven't, I only met him that one time. I was kind of starstruck, even though I'm not like, like I'm into the gay '80s metal shit, but he's probably a little too deep for me in terms of who he's played with. That's Lois. I don't really talk to Felicia. I think people think we're homies. I mean, we're not enemies or anything, but I mean, the last time I spoke with her, I think she was on a stream, and she asked me yesterday. She asked me who was winning the Super Bowl. Um, so, who else? What other guitar players do I enjoy listening to? Dave Koenig from the Killers. I'm a big fan of his. I met him once at a comedy show. Um, Tall Wilkenfeld or Tall? I don't know who Tall Wick is. I know who Tall Wilkenfeld is because we're friends. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not Ted Nugent. I like. He was very nice to me that one day I met him. He was quiet. It wasn't like a deep conversation we had, but um, yeah, I mean, well, figure it out, Earl. How am I supposed to figure it out? Tall Wick? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I know Tall Wilkenfeld, but I don't know Tall. Maybe they date. I mean, she seems a little young for him. I mean, he's got to be in his 60s. She's in her early 30s. But hey, I don't want to know. The less I know, the better about people. Um, yes, you do have to draw a picture for me, Mickey, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Half his age, yeah, 100%. But I don't judge. I've certainly dated younger women, and who was the guitar player in Asia? I liked a lot of guitar sounds in Asia. I mean, Mickey, how would I know? Supposed to know who Vinny C dated? I don't know. Um, but Jeff Ross does date younger women, 100% there, 100%. And Steve Lukather, I like, but he's played for everybody. Um, I served East Bay Ray. I don't know who East Bay Ray is. Um, wait, who was the guitar player in Asia, though? It was John Wetton, the drums, um, Carl Palmer. No, John Wetton on bass, Carl Palmer on drums. I think Jeff Downs on keyboards. Steve Howe. Okay, thank you. I love me Asia in their prime. I mean, they were rocking. All right, you kids. This was a fun musical interlude. Thank you, everyone. Good to have ACDC back in the house. We don't talk about the dead Kennedys in here. It's too close to the bone. Styx is great. I mean, REO Speedwagon. Foreigner. So Earl Skakel in the house. Cool Boy 52. Sorry, we're just ending the stream now, but it's good. This is the stream. Yeah, Lukather's credits. I mean, he's been on like something like 5,000 albums or something, like legit 5,000 albums. So his publishing must be Fat Daddy. That's a guy who's got to be rich. I mean, one you play on all of Lois, come on, man. I'm trying to end the stream. You play on all of Toto's albums. That's good money. And he's like the go-to. Roger Steen from the Tubes is someone who I enjoy listening to. Kane Roberts from Alice Cooper in the 80s, I enjoy. Al Petrelli from Alice Cooper, I enjoy. So Earl Skakel over and out. You guys are the fucking best. Never forget ya. When I'm the new Mr. Beast, I'm going to remember the OGs. Trust me on that one. And you guys know my word is my bond. Live from the kitchen in the darkness. Good night.